Hello, and welcome to The Curators, a podcast about game projects on Kickstarter. I'm Joey.
And I'm Marcelo. You can find all the games from this episode as well as plenty of others at our curated page on kickstarter.com/Gamerati.
You can also find links of these projects in the show notes of this episode at thecurators.gamerati.com. If you're a backer of any of these projects, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at thecurators@gamerati.com. Tell us why you're backing a certain project, and we may feature your email on the podcast.
All right, Joey. It's been a week. Have you rested?
No, I went to DreamHack over the weekend in Dallas. That wasn't restful at all. That was a time where we were demoing games and doing all kinds of stuff. Games that we've already talked about on the Curators, games we will be talking about on the Curators. Cool. It was pretty interesting, actually. Yeah.
It was weird going through a week without the Curators.
Yeah, that's right. That's why. Yeah, I had to actually travel on Thursday. That's why we weren't able to record, and then do. We just had to wait a week. But it looks like your game is first this time.
Yes, and because we skipped a week, we're going to talk about 6 games. No, we're not.
No.
Okay, my first game, is it this one here? Yes, it's Pirates of Pugmire, a Realms of Pugmire or Monarchies of Mao, depending on what you prefer, tabletop RPG by Onyx Path. It's 13 days to go. They are almost at their goal. They need $40,000. They are at almost 31 with 568 backers. It's probably because it's a thinner book. It costs less. But here we go. This is a campaign, as we say in Dungeons & Dragons, or as they say for Onyx Path. It's a chronicle for both Monarchies of Mao and Pugmire. As with all books, as with all supplements and RPGs and adventures from Onyx Path, the manuscript is ready. They have even a lot of art done. They're doing this Kickstarter to be able to print a hardcover full-color book. It's going to be between 150 to 200 pages without counting any stretch goals. Stretch goals always add stuff to the book. So Pirates of Pugmire, it's a source book, or as Onyx Path calls it, a chronicle source book for both Pugmire and Monarchies of Mao. It's usable in either game or as part of a joint experience for both games if you own both, and includes 2 new species, so not only dogs and cats, but now you can play with lizards and birds. I remember you wrote a couple of blog posts about birds on Pugmire, right?
I did write some blog posts on the Gamerati website. You can actually go back and find them in the archives. I had written them as a way of just continuing the conversation about Pugmire because I really wanted to keep the whole love for this setting alive. And so what I had done was written like birds as in groupings, the way that the dogs are written in groupings, and same with the cats. So like if you read Pugmire, you would know that the dogs themselves are in like classes or races. I guess you could say that's more
breeds
accurate. Breeds, really. Yeah, that's really the word. It's not like a solid breed structure. So what you would get is like a herder. A herder is really good at being like a ranger or those class, but your herder could be a collie, it could be a Australian shepherd, it could be a border collie, it could be anything you really want it to be. Theoretically, you could still have a Saint Bernard that is in that class. The concept was really meant for you to interchange a lot of different things. And so I kind of did that similarly with birds. Like I had scavengers and flightless birds and other things, but like a flightless bird could be an ostrich or it could be a penguin. So like any sort of, there's a huge difference there in what kind of a bird you would be playing. And it's very much a cosmetic thing. Whereas in this, what do they call it? A chronicle? Yes, a chronicle source book that it's probably much more fleshed out to be more in line with what they originally were thinking for birds. Because I went out on my own limb for that. So I'm very interested to see what they do for birds and lizards.
Yeah, and they add, this book needs either Monarchies of Mao or Pugmire because it adds new stuff. It doesn't repeat a lot of stuff. So there's 6 new callings, including 2 for dogs, 2 for cats. So I imagine the other 2 are 1 for lizard and 1 for bird. There are rules for building, sail, and sinking ships, which is also useful on real life, right? And it adds allies, enemies, treasures. and information on 2 ports that you can use regularly on your campaigns, Port Matthew and Waterdog Port. It comes with a 3-part kind of mega adventure that will take your characters from 1st to 6th level. It's called Going on the Account. The art is the same quality you are used to with Pugmire, and I like this a lot. I like the fact that you can read the manuscripts as the Kickstarter progresses. If you are a backer, at least at $1, you can read the rules, you can read the setting. They have everything practically ready, just waiting for the money to be able to print and commission more art, the designers, etc. There's one thing they do I don't like, and Onyx Path always does that. They charge shipping at the time of the pledge. Let me see here. So for Brazil, it's going to be plus $60 for shipping, and I will pay $105 the moment the Kickstarter ends. They don't wait like BackerKit does for you to pay for shipping at the time of shipping. It's like for Trinity, for example, I have paid shipping 2 years ago. So we still haven't got the books because they're almost finished. They are on, I believe, final layouts, something like that. That's the only bad thing about.
I'm sorry. Wait, what books? What books have you not gotten yet?
Eon Trinity. I got the PDFs, but not the physical books.
Oh, I see. Because the other 2 Pugmire books or Pugmire and Monarchies are definitely out. I have them.
Yeah, those are lighter books. There's smaller books, and it's a lighter project. They're cheaper books too. Trinity is kind of a mammoth project of theirs. So yeah.
Well, even this one though, even this particular thing, it does say estimated delivery is February 2021.
Yeah,
they are saying that they will deliver in 2 years.
But it's preferable that they say 2 years and delivering in 1.5 years than if they said 1 year and delivered in 1.5 years.
Right. I mean, I get it. A year is pretty long for a lot of stuff like this. And I think a lot of people forget that they told you, look, it's going to take a couple years. And so some people will get on the comments and be like, hey, where's my stuff? Like, it's been 9 months. And it's like, no, look at the estimated delivery date.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Yeah, but you get access to the text, let's say the PDF, almost right away. And I think this is something, if you play Pugmire and /or Monarchies of Mal, you gotta have Pirates of Pugmire. It's the obvious consequence of creating a world like Pugmire.
I really don't want to back it because I don't have $45. But I'm gonna have to, aren't I?
Well, you can always wait 2 years for it to hit shelves.
Honestly, it's the birds. I have to have the birds. I love myself some birds. That's why I made the birds in Pugmire initially. That's why I wanted to play them. That's really what I love about all this. So I may have to back this.
All right, so that's Pirates of Pugmire. Still 13 days to go. Link is on our curated page and in the show notes too, right?
Correct.
All right. Your turn, Joey.
My turn is another RPG.
So before we start, Joey, I gotta say that when I wrote about this game that you're about to talk to us about on the newsletter, when I made the Gamerati news update, something else I don't remember, I kept writing Glimmerspace all the time. It's nothing to do with that. Yeah.
That is the absolute opposite of this. This is Grimmerspace. It is grim. It's not just grim, it's grimmer. And this setting, I guess you could say, it's actually meant for Pathfinder Starfinder, and it is the basically definitive sci-fi horror setting that is grimdark. If you want that kind of super edgy, dark, space has found things man was not meant to know. Also, the creative director is Sean Astin. And I think that this whole thing comes together really kind of awesomely because of that. Like, Sean Astin is obviously in Hollywood. He's going to make this as cinematic as possible. But we also have other creatives involved in this. Like, I'm going to skim past so much of what this game actually means to just talk about the creatives because I'm very interested in this.
It's especially because it's everything but the kitchen sink. It has everything, every trope you want here.
Oh, every single one. And we'll go through them in a moment, but I want to talk about Roan Barton and Lou Agresta. These guys are award-winning designers and podcasters. We have authors that are straight out of Kobold Press, Wolfgang Bauer, whom I'm sure you know if you're backing a lot of RPGs. Jason Bullman, you probably know from Paizo. Like Paizo proper is also working on this. Adam Daigle, like everyone here, Owen Stevens. It's so funny to me that that initially it started out with Lou and Roan, and they're like, "Hey, we're making this Pathfinder supplement, and we think it's, or not Pathfinder, Starfinder supplement, and it's gonna be cool." And then like everybody loved it so much that they just had to get a piece of it, and it's got so much stuff. Let's go up to the different tiers here. The rewards tiers, the basic tiers, digital, you still get like 4 PDFs. That includes the setting, basically like a bestiary and a player's guide. And then you also get the first adventure called Abattoir 8. But then like if you do the core, you actually get physical copies of a bunch of stuff. The role-playing game beginner actually comes with the Starfinder beginner box if you want to do that, which I think is a really cool addition. From there, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier with miniatures and other books. Immersive battle maps by Yarrow Studios. Do you remember seeing the immersive battle maps on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
It's in a book, right?
It's like a book that folds in a way that the pages always flush, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's all gridded out so that you can have these really cool looking settings for the original one. I want to say only had like a fantasy style setting. I think I'd have to go take a look. Gosh, it had like 4,000 backers. It had an amazing amount of backers. And so Yarrow Studios is just going ahead with a sci-fi theme now, which I think is awesome. They're doing that with removable stickers and all kinds of different stuff for this project. And I just think the whole thing is so over the top and so cool looking that it just has to be talked about. One other thing I think is kind of interesting about the way it's being communicated. I'm going to scroll all the way down. So for those that are on the podcast side, bear with me. I highly recommend looking at the video so I can fully explain this. But they have in the stretch goals section these different images, and each image has like a chunk taken out of it so that when you look at what you're getting on a specific stretch goal, those chunks of those art pieces are represented in like a line. Right here, we have coming up next is Tarmire, one that got unlocked at $90,000. It's got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images, and only one of them is kind of grayed out. If you scroll up, you can see what each of those images actually mean. You kind of like put it together that, oh, it's got this little chunk out of this picture labeled adventures. So that stretch goal includes an adventure. It also has a chunk out of this picture labeled settings. So it also has a setting. So in this case, it has a setting, an adventure, Xenophiles, a Xeno deck, and a Denizen deck, and a map. Some of these, like just the D20 Pro support, just has the one image chunk that, and all the rest are grayed out, and that one image chunk is just labeled more. So it's just something that's extra, something that's kind of cool to add on. So like the D20 support is just like an extra thing that they're kind of doing that doesn't come with anything physical. But then like Touchdown Salvage at the $65,000 mark, which was what feels like weeks ago now, only has like the first and the last image on it. So when you scroll back up and you see that means it's got a setting and more. And it probably comes with some extra goodies on the side, or maybe some stickers for the book or some other things like that. So the way that the stretch goals are being laid out is kind of fun. It has this sort of scroll up, scroll down, just sort of like understand what you're getting at a glance, essentially. So when you get that idea, like what is Brax plus Neurotani, you get to scroll up and go, okay, it's Xenophiles and a Xeno deck. So it's new monsters. So I get that. That's what that is. And it's way easier than having to describe every single stretch goal as its own individual thing. And so that the page isn't even longer, because this is a very long page. But it is a really cool project. I'm really excited to be as close as I am to the project. So it's something I'm super stoked to talk about. And they're already at 103,000. So they need to actually post the next stretch goal like right now, because the last one was only 2,000 away and they're already 1,000 over the previous stretch goal. So who knows how far away this next one will be. Oh no, it's at the top. 105 Watchers of the Star set, which comes with a setting. What was that one? An adventure, and it comes with some Xenophiles. So it comes with some new monsters, and it comes with a setting, and it comes with an adventure. And then the one after that is called Vigil. It doesn't have the amount written on it, but it comes with basically everything. I just think that's a really cool looking way to do it. And the real basic thing is just $40, the core, and that's the printed one, I believe. The basic one does have the printed book. You can always get the digital one, but the basic one is only $40. Then if you just want that battle map book, which 85 backers do just want the battle map book, it's only $40. And then you can go from there and basically choose exactly what you want. There's a whole bunch of different options here for how you want to build your pledge, but I recommend going and taking a look at it. If you're interested in sci-fi horror, this will be the definitive Starfinder setting. I mean, there's so many Paizo people working on this that I get the feeling that Paizo may not actually do their own. We may just be looking at this for a Grimdark setting for Starfinder. If this is your type of game, you got to back it.
It's been a while since either of you brought a dice project here.
No. Like 2 weeks ago or 2 episodes ago was the glow-in-the-dark dice with with the dice charger.
Yes, I completely forgot about those. So
I talk about dice all the time.
Yeah, keeping with our tradition. But this time with a twist. It's Metal Gaming Coins and Dice. It's a class series by the D20 Collective. Why did I flip down to take a look at it? It's in the name. It's D20 Collective. Okay, so how does it work? It's a series of coins. I love coins in games. They're completely fluff. You don't need them to play, but I love to play with coins. Or tokens. I use a lot of poker chips, plastic square chips. I use them for everything, to mark characters who are blooded or extra actions, everything. So these are metal coins worth 1, 5, 10, 25, and 100. You can use them any way you want. They are different sizes, kind of like real money coins. Like the one is a tiny little smaller than the 5. Also, the color is a little different. And then 10, different color, a little more bronze, a little bigger. And the 100, it's the biggest one. There's no 50. Yeah, 1, 5, 10, 25, 100. Yeah, there's no 50. And you can choose the theme of the coins. On one side, you have symbols of a D&D class, for lack of better wording. And the other side, you have the weapons of that trade. So you have, for example, the fighter coin. On one side of, let's say, the face of the coin worth 1 is a helmet. On the other side, a couple of daggers. And then on the 5 coin, you have a gauntlet on one side and axes on the other. And so on and so forth. You have the fighter coins, the ranger coins, which is, for me, are the most beautiful one of those. Then the bard coins, and they are adding more and more classes with stretch goals. The 20,000 stretch goals is the cleric, 25 is the wizard, 30 class inspiration tokens, I don't know what that is, and those are the stretch goals for now. And together with the coins, you don't have to buy, to pledge only for the fighter coins or the bard coins. You can have the 1 of the bard, the 5 of the cleric. You can do anything you want. Every set of coins, how many coins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins come with one set of dice, 7 dice in total. And they are acrylic dice, very pretty, but very normal. The only difference is that fitting with the theme of D&D classes, the number 20 on each die has a symbol instead of the number 20. And it's kind of gimmick. It's the kind of gimmick that I also love having. For some reason.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It's more powerful than just rolling a regular 20. And also you can mix and match with the same color, different colors, same dice, different dice. Let me see if you can purchase only the coins. Oh, there's an early bird thing here for at least our listeners.
So I think you might have said you only get 5 coins. I think you get 10.
No, sorry. Yeah, I said 5 coins. Those are 10 coins. 10 coins, 7 dice. I stand corrected.
This is actually really affordable.
It's not a
One
lot.
thing I'm noticing, yeah, for $15, well, that's the early bird. For $15, you get 10 coins and a set of dice, right?
Yes.
One set of 10?
Yeah.
And dice of your choice. That's really cheap.
I'm always seeing coins with dice here. That's not an option for only coins. For example, the Baron here, 30 coins and 21 dice. Yeah, so the early bird, for the next 36 hours at the recording of this, we record on Thursday. So maybe our listeners on the podcast still have time to get the early bird, the night, so you get $15, a set of 10 coins and 7 dice, instead of paying $18. So $3, what's 20% discount? Yeah, it's a lot. But only for the next 36 hours. People watching on the YouTubes, unfortunately, will miss the early bird. But there's also another early bird here for the Baron, early bird for the Princess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 5. It's for a group of 5 players, a party of 4 and a DM. And it'd be really cool if you could get one of each. But so far, they haven't unlocked the other 2. I always found this interesting. I wonder what your opinion is on this. When you're doing dice sets, or you're doing things and you're locking certain aesthetics out behind stretch goals, I get the reason why you have to do that as a creator. Like, I totally understand why you need to do that. But for a lot of backers, it gets weird. Like, if I'm playing a cleric, I don't want to back this until I know for sure that I can get a cleric set. And so I want to wait until they already hit the $20,000 stretch goal, which keeps me from backing initially, which is kind of not great. I think enough Kickstarter backers know better, and they're sitting here like, well, I got to get in on the early bird, because at the last minute, if they don't get to where I want, then I won't get the only one that I need. I can back out. But I think enough people are like, well, I don't want to do that. One of the other dice sets that made me really start asking this question was they were doing dice sets based on birth months. So like the dice were kind of like your birth gem. And I don't know most of them. I know July is Ruby because that's mine. The dice sets just kind of looked like, they were plastic still, of course, but they looked like the gems of the specific month. They only started with like the first 4 or 5 months. So if you were in December, well, I have to wait for you guys to like completely finish your campaign and get all the way to the end. My birth month is not going to change. I'm not going to, roll up a new character like I could here. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change over to Ranger just because it's available. It's kind of hard to back something when you know that you're at the tail end of this. The first stretch goal is at 20,000, and it's the cleric, and then following that is the wizard. And if I'm playing a wizard and I really want these blue dice and I really want those coins, I have to just hope that they make it there. And then there's the class inspiration tokens at 30, and then if they're going to do even more classes beyond that, then I would be locked out. Like if I'm playing a rogue, I'm like, maybe I'm not interested in this. Like currently, for these programs, I think a lot of people need to just understand how Kickstarter works. You don't get charged until the thing is over. So like if you are interested in this kind of thing and you do have some time to hit that early bird, hit the early bird, wait, hope, keep an eye on it, and when it gets close to the very, very, very end, if it's very clear they will not make it to the thing you want, you won't get charged. You can back out. It's not the end of the world. And pledging them now gets them a lot more clarity, I guess you could say, on where the campaign is going to go. Because if there are people in the edges waiting, they'll never know. And you don't know how many people are waiting. You have to back in order to basically make it to the thing that you need. You just have to get in there. You just have to get in there. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not enough people do that.
Yeah, but I think it's worth it. It's worth a try. The coins are really well designed. The indentations, they seem deep enough that I would use some of those coins to produce wax seals. They say premium metal coins, but they don't say which element they are using to make the coins. But they seem heavy. They seem thick.
Like they do look quality.
Yes. Yeah, so this is Metal Gaming Coins and Dice. There's still 19 days to go, so they started, what, a week ago? And they need $15,000. They are at $12,000 with 270 backers. So yeah, if that's your thing, as it is my thing, here you go. And where do we go, Joey?
And that's it for another episode of the show. If you have any questions about the games we featured, or if you'd like us to consider a game on the podcast, feel free to email us at thecurators@gamerati.com, and we will answer you on the podcast.
You can also reach Joey or myself on Twitter and Facebook at Gamerati. The show notes for this episode and all our episodes are at thecurators.gamerati.com. You can also find The Curators on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
And don't forget to check out our curated page at kickstarter.com/Gamerati. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/Gamerati.
All right, we're back.
We are back. And then next week, we will be back again. This time, it's personal.